Hook off the Jab Sports. We're back. What's going on, guys? Long time no chat. Today we're talking Naoya Inoue versus Stephen Fulton, and we're also going to talk a little bit about Naoya Inoue versus Gervonta Davis. Fulton versus Inoue was an exciting fight. If you haven't seen it by now, spoiler alert, the Japanese fighter won by knockout in the 8th round. Now, a lot of people are really giving Naoya Inoue his praises, calling him, his nickname is the Monster. And a lot of people believe that he is the pound for pound king right now. I personally don't believe that. I have my reasons for that. If I'm going to be honest, I haven't followed his career like others may have, nor have I followed Stephen Fulton's career like others may have. But I did do my best to look back at some of their older fights and gather as much information and knowledge on them as I could with the time that I had. And, looking back at the fight after watching it a couple of times over, it's hard for me to say that after that fight that Naoya Inoue is the pound for pound king, because I just don't see how that fight can be, the performance, like Fulton's performance wasn't good enough, in my opinion, to say that Inoue beating him would make him the pound for pound king. Naoya Inoue's performance, he made it look easy. Without a doubt, he made it look easy. And I have to give him this. He looked composed, he looked prepared, and he looked unrattled. That could have been because he was in his hometown, he was in his country of Japan. He was with, amongst his people. He didn't have to leave home. Probably got to sleep in his bed. That's definitely going to be an advantage, for any fighter. Fulton just didn't seem, I don't know what it was. He didn't utilize any of his advantages. For starters, Fulton came out with a wide stance, so that took away from any size advantage that he had. On top of that, it's almost like he refused to jab. And it got to the point where Inoue was out jabbing him, and it's like he just refused to even jab with him, even tried to jab with him. And Naoya Inoue realized that, and he decided that not only was he going to jab to the head, but he was going to jab to the body. And he waited for Fulton to drop his hands, and he jabbed to the body and came up top with the straight right and dropped him. Fulton went down, 8th round. And, shouts out to Noya. He set that up beautifully. It was textbook, and it looked crisp. He looked like he practiced that over and over again. It was clean. It wasn't sloppy at all, and I got to give him his credit for that. But I just don't think that Fulton put up a challenge that is convincing enough, that could convince me personally that Naoya Inoue had to overcome that challenge, which would make him pound for pound. Again, I didn't watch all of his other fights. I did see him fight Nonito Donaire, but Nonito Donaire is also an older fighter who's also been hurt a few times in his career. And, he's not the same fighter that he was before. So it's hard for me. Yeah, that's pretty much what I have to say about that. I don't want to take away from the Japanese fighter at all. I think that he had to go through a few things. There was, whether it's true or not, I have no idea. They were accusing him of steroids. They were accusing him of loading his gloves. Whether that's true or not, I have no idea. So he had to overcome those things as well. So if they weren't true, so yeah, guys, I'm sure Fulton, maybe he's a better fighter than what he showed us, a few days ago. But I just don't think he put up any kind of challenge whatsoever. Like, he didn't try to challenge Naoya Inoue in any kind of way. He didn't try to say, okay, I'm going to out-jab you. If you want to jab, I'm going to out-jab you. He didn't try to say, well, if you're going to jab, I'm going to come over top with the right hand. I'm going to time you with that. Like nothing. You know, he didn't try to. He didn't. No, sorry, not the right hand. He didn't try to throw a comeback with a hook. Nothing. Just, you know what? Just nothing. He didn't try to do anything. He had little moments where he he had little splurts here and there where he, got some good punches in and stuff like that. And at one point he did hit Inoue and looked like he got Noya's attention, but he just didn't follow up after that too much. He didn't capitalize on it. It looked like he wanted to counter punch, and Noya's jab wasn't allowing him to counter punch. What people don't understand is that the jab is your first weapon for a reason. It shuts down a lot of your opponent's tools. Whatever he's planning, the jab is a tool that you use to shut down a lot of that, a lot of whatever he has planned. Now, obviously, there's other punches in an arsenal. And a fighter will have a variety of punches in his arsenal that he trains, day in and day out. But the jab is the one that you use, because it's the closest one to the opponent, and it's gonna get there before any other punch. And you're not in danger. You shouldn't be in as much danger as you would be throwing other punches, right? So Stephen Fulton was supposed to be the bigger, longer fighter. He came out with this wide stance, took away from his, if he was the taller fighter, that went out the window immediately. And he refused. He was supposed to be jabbing. He was supposed to be jabbing He was supposed to be jabbing the spirit out of Naoya Inoue. He was supposed to let him know that this is waiting for you if you get too excited. And he didn't do that. And it was the other way around. When Naoya Inoue decided, I'm going to do what you should be doing to me, I'm going to do it to you. So congratulations to him. Congratulations to him. Now that fight has passed, good luck to Stephen Fulton. I'm sure he'll bounce back. From watching some of his other fights, he has skills. I think that he has some things to work on, but he has skills. It's hard to be a fighter. If anybody has gone into a ring, even if you never planned on being a professional fighter just for fun, just to see where you stand, it's not easy. So I don't come on here and try to, talk down on these guys or take away from their hard work. I'm just saying that I didn't see him put up, to me, it didn't look like he put up much of a fight. He could have been maybe a little homesick, maybe a little, too much talk of, his coach said, I'm not going to let him fight if, the other fighter doesn't wrap his hands fairly or properly and stuff like that. And Stephen Fulton looked at his coach like, what do you mean you're not going to let me fight? Like those kind of things, you don't put that stuff in a fighter's head. I don't think so. I always say this. I was like, the people on the outside, you can set your favorite fighter up. I always say, fans, you could set your favorite fighter up for failure, especially if those fighters are listening to the fans on the social media and stuff like that. You go around saying the wrong thing and put the wrong thoughts in a fighter's head. They're just human at the end of the day. So in my opinion, I think that his coach or whoever that was should have been like, no matter, Fulton, no matter what he brings, you're going to bring something more, and I think that's where you should have left it at, In any case, good luck to Stephen Fulton. Congratulations to Naoya Inoue. Now that Naoya Inoue has won that fight, overcome that challenge, a lot of people are talking about him fighting Gervonta Davis. And I personally think Gervonta Davis right now is pound for pound. I think right now he's pound for pound. Now after Errol Spence fights Terence Crawford, I think the winner of that fight is going to be pound for pound. I think Gervonta Davis can be the face of boxing, but I think between Errol Spence and Terence Crawford, one of them will take the reign as pound for pound. I don't think it's Naoya Inoue. If I just don't see it. Even if, let's say he did fight Gervonta Davis and won, I still think it'll be Errol Spence or Terence Crawford who are pound for pound at the top of the list, number one, the winner between those two fighters. Now, let's get back to Inoue fighting Gervonta Davis. you know, as I heard people talking about this fight, you know, if it was possible, you know, if it could happen, if it was possible and stuff like that. I do believe Inoue is a smaller fighter. I think he started at like 107 or something like that, 108, you know, 108 pounds, something around there. And, you know, he's moved up little by little as his career went on. Here's the difference. And people are getting excited because of the performance he put on against Stephen Fulton. But like I said before, Stephen Fulton didn't put up a fight, in my opinion. He did not challenge anything that Inoue did. Gervonta Davis, his name alone is a challenge. Just going to the press conferences with him is going to be a challenge. The only thing that's going to save Naoya Inoue from even surviving mentally the press conferences is the fact that he can't really speak no English. So he won't really know what's going on. But other than that, that's just one battle, and Gervonta Davis has knockout power. Fulton is not known for his knockout power. So I highly doubt that if they were to fight, Gervonta Davis is gonna allow himself to get jabbed up like Fulton did, right? If you guys remember, again, look back to when Gervonta Davis fought the Mexican, Leo Santa Cruz. Leo Santa Cruz started throwing punches. He got a little reckless. He got timed and touched. And Gervonta Davis has very good timing. And he can fight on the inside. Because if you remember, in that same fight, the uppercut he threw was on the inside, if I'm not mistaken, the one that dropped him. It was on the inside. And he goes to the body very well. He did it against Mario Barrios with the shovel hook to the body. Let's not forget. Naoya Inoue, I personally believe that the way to beat him is to stifle his punches. Don't allow him to extend on his punches and you okay. He doesn't want to throw punches on the inside. He doesn't want to throw short range punches. He doesn't want to. Now, maybe he does and I missed it. Maybe he can and hasn't done it yet. But from what I can see, he wants to hit you with long range punches. He wants to lunge in with the left hook. And he wants to hit you with the straight right hand. That's what he wants to do. And he loves to load up on that left hook, oftentimes throwing himself off balance. I've seen him do it multiple times. So I don't think Gervonta Davis will let him get away with that at all. That's my opinion on that. You guys can let me know what you guys think. What else do I got? But you know, I guess at the end of the day, that'll be a fun fight. It'll be a fun fight to watch. You know, they both got power. And you know, Gervonta Davis has gone on record saying that Naoya Inoue has skill, so he has respect for Naoya Inoue, and he himself said that would be a fun fight. That's a fight that he would like to see happen. He just thinks he's too big for the Japanese fighter. But hey, at the end of the day, a lot of these fighters are going up and stuff like that to fight at bigger weight classes. This is what fighters do. This is what they do, you know? So I highly doubt that would be an excuse if they were to fight. I don't think that'll be an excuse because I think Gervonta Davis truly believes that Naoya Inoue does have skill. And from what I've seen, he's talented, and he definitely has, you know, he's a clean fighter for the most part, you know. So that would be fun to see if it was possible, if it could actually happen. Yeah, guys, I think with that said, that's all I got for now. Today is Friday. The Terrence Crawford versus Errol Spence Jr. fight is coming up. That is tomorrow. And I'm sure that everybody is excited for that. If you haven't seen my previous breakdown of that fight, I'm going to put the link in the description as well. I'm going to put it somewhere on the screen here so you can click that and have a listen to that. I might try to, you know what? I might even try to go live if not, you know, sometime before the fight, during the fight, something like that. I might try to go live and see what I can do. It'll be my first time doing that, so, you know, I'm gonna have to set myself up and make sure that I understand what's going on, so, you know, it's enjoyable for the few followers that I have. You know, guys, if you like my channel, and whether you agree or disagree with me, you're always welcome, you know, to engage, leave your comments, and, you know, whenever you get a chance, let your friends know, let other boxing fans know to tune in, take a listen, and you know, leave their perspectives, you know, out there, put their perspectives out there as well. You know, have them like, subscribe, send them the link to my videos whenever you get a chance. It'll be greatly appreciated. You know, I think that boxing is a sport that should be bringing people together. I think combat sports in general should be bringing people together. Unfortunately, sometimes it does divide a bit, but the truth of the matter is we all love combat sports, and that's why we're here. So with that said, guys, thank you guys so much for listening. Like, comment, subscribe, and until next time, hook off the jab.